What's up, guys? So, I just did an entire video and I forgot to press the record button. Shows how fucking professional I am. My video today is going to be a lot more different from my usual format, mainly because it's going to be a lot less clown shit.
Do you know what happened to the mandarins?
No. Okay, maybe a little bit, because otherwise you guys are gonna fall asleep, and so will I when I'm actually editing this shit. Today I'm gonna be talking about the resources that helped me develop as a guitar player. I haven't been playing for a very long time, alright? Like I started playing guitar when I was about 16, 17 years old. I played for a while, and then I stopped playing. I think I was about 20 or 21. I mean, the only kind of like resources we had back in those days were either tabs. And by the way, the tabs is not like these days you click and watch. To access tabs, first you had to go through this. And for some reason, the fuckers that used to put the tabs online, they put a shitload of JPEG images around. There was also the odd teacher. I remember someone gave me a cassette with Yngwie Malmsteen's arpeggios and scales, where he would say, "So this is a scale." You get it? I kind of like stopped during that period because I was in university, and at the time everything was just computer science for me, and in a way it's good I've done that because it allowed me to have, you know, the job that I have today that I love so much. Now, I had one of those epiphanies when I was about 31, I think, and I decided to pick the instrument back again. The resources that I'm going to give you guys are the things that actually helped me progress in the last 7 years. Now again, I'm no teacher. This is more of an informal conversation from one student to another. If there's anything that I've missed or that helped you, make sure that you guys write it down in the comment section. But these are 5 resources. Oh shit. These are 6 topics that helped me in my guitar development. The topics are theory, licks, encyclopedia and inspiration, solos and riffs, singing and screaming, mix and mastering. So, let's start with number 1, theory. We all know that theory is perceived as being really fucking boring. But believe me, they will never be as boring as watching IT tutorials online.
Programming in C++ is a course for understanding.
I actually found a channel that I think it's got amazing content, and it teaches theory in super relaxed way. At least I didn't fall asleep. It's called Signals Music Studio. He manages to explain things very easily, and it's super easy to follow. Knowing about these things will help for sure, and it helped me. And the second you learn a new scale, it's a new door for a new riff, for new things. And I think this guy's Signal Music Studio is absolutely phenomenal. This channel is really good, and I would definitely check it out. Another resource that I'm going to talk about related to theory is that when we start really getting into it, the first thing we want to know, apart from licks and riffs and all of that, is that we start wanting to know scales, because we want to improvise and we want to create solos and all of that kind of stuff. It's by a guy called Trey Xavier, and it's in Udemy. And I think the course is about $20 to $25, and it's called Relationships. And it's the most beautiful way to teach anyone about scales and how to memorize them and how to practice them. And believe me, I wish I had known this 7 years ago, because it's a great tool, and I think within a couple of weeks you'll know how to play all shapes in all 12 keys. Now, number 2, licks. The best channel with licks that I found is by this guy called Alfred Potter. The guy is an absolutely guitar virtuoso. I mean, the dude is unbelievable, and he breaks it down super simple. I always struggled with sweep picking. It's one of the things that I've always had problems with, and this guy really helped me out with that. The way how he breaks it down and shows you, and then on top of all of these things, not only does he has licks and he talks about the most varied techniques, he also sells these for like $4. I've seen other people online, man, selling these things for like 50 pounds. I mean, I've bought some of these things for like 50 pounds and whatnot. And then you download it and it's just some bearded dude, man, talking about his life and showing shit that is, you know, it's super not intuitive. So I would definitely go on and check his channel. It's called Alfred Potter. Amazing. Go and check it out. Buy some of his PDFs because they're really worth it. I bought a couple myself. Let's talk about another topic, which is inspiration. And we all need it, right? We all get stuck, you know, like I think our muscle memory will be locked in, and then we start writing riffs and writing music based on what our muscle memory is. So for me personally, I get inspiration in two ways. One, I try to play other people's stuff, and another way that I get really inspired is by watching other people play things. So this channel is from a guy called Nik Nocturnal, and I think he grew massively this year. I call his channel a metal encyclopedia. I mean, the building blocks of metal are in there. I mean, if you're an intermediate player, even if you're a beginner, but I think more if you're an intermediate player, or if you're actually just starting to write your music, definitely check him out, because there's a lot of stuff in there that is very inspiring. I mean, he talks about the most used verses in metal, the most used choruses, the most used breakdowns, the riffs that are better, the better modes, the most used modes. I mean, there's a bunch of shit in there that is insanely helpful. Next up is solos and riffs. So there's two channels that I really like. One of them is this guy called Jamie Slays, and his channel is basically just about riffs. To be fair with you, he kind of like inspired me, and I didn't want to do like another channel about the most used riffs, because I think Jamie already does them so well. I decided to do that on my Instagram channel, which is FX2MX3, and I pick up riffs and solos and whatnot. I record 1 minute of those, of my favorite parts in certain songs, or my favorite solos or whatever, and I upload it onto my Instagram. And it's thanks to this guy's channel, you know. I take a lot of ideas from there and, you know, do my own take on it and then upload it on my Instagram. So make sure you check me out as well on Instagram. The other one is solos, and I follow this guy for a long time. It's a guy called Chris Zupa. He's either a Kiwi or an Aussie. I never really figured out from the accent, as I'm terrible with that kind of shit. But the guy is really good. He's a virtuoso. He's a phenomenal guitar player, and I think he covered pretty much every possible solo out there. Okay, this brings me now to the next topic, which is mixing and mastering. And it's funny, but that I'm talking about this subject in the midst of like being a guitar player, but I think this is a skill that these days not just guitar players, but every musician needs to learn. We can transform our house and our rooms into a studio with less than 500 pounds. You know, a lot of people, especially the first resource that I'm going to tell you, which is Recording Revolution. And if you go to the studio, you're going to be paying at least 300 pounds for a day. Now, I'm not saying to skip completely going to the studio, because you will need that. You know, you want a professional doing your stuff if you're doing your things properly. But if you're recording a demo, or you're doing a video for YouTube, or you're doing your first EP, you know, or you're just brand new to the whole industry, you're not gonna go to the studio and blow up all your savings in this kind of crap, right? You will want to learn these things. You will want to record your own ideas and, you know, demos. And if you're forming a band, you want to record them to share with other people. For me, these are the two that really, really help me, okay? One of them is Recording Revolution by this guy called Graham Cochrane. The other channel is from this guy it's called Spectre Sound Studios, and it's from this dude called GLEN. Now this guy, man, I think he inhales air and he exhales metal, and I think he's been in the industry for a long time. He's got great videos there, especially the first ones that when he started releasing about recording guitars and tracking guitars and which gear to use and techniques. And he's got a problem with bass players. The only caveat here is that the guy is fucking rude and he swears like a sailor. So if you are, how can I put this delicately, a pussy, don't fucking go there. You'll be shocked with the amount of profanity, probably even more than on this channel. However, if you don't really give a shit about that, because for me personally, that kind of entertains me and keeps me awake.
So when I work with a bass player in the studio, I'm looking for two things. knowledge of the song, and technique. If you don't know how long a verse goes before a chorus, how many choruses, that sort of thing, then don't come into the studio! You're just wasting everyone's time and money. Practice your shit!
I wish actually there was a Glenn Fricker doing IT tutorials online.
Project managers. What the fuck is actually wrong with these guys? I should actually make a t-shirt saying my project manager is a useless
Now, next topic is singing and screaming. So this is the subject that I'm gonna point you to their channel, but for me personally, I think you need to go and have some classes, man. And there's no dodging the bullet around this one. The resource that I'm talking about is called Rocky Music Studio, and I think they rebranded now to RMS Vocal Institute. They used to have a channel which got up to like 40,000 people subscribing or something, but the channel got taken down by YouTube, probably, you know, one of those YouTube PMS days. She helped me greatly because not only did she teach me how to sing more than for an entire set, she expanded my range massively. I can hear the You see, like, naturally I'm a baritone, and I started singing tenor stuff that I never thought I would be able to do without her help. I know there's people out there selling videos and DVDs and whatnot. Shit, I saw a guy selling a DVD the other day for like 1,500 pounds, which I think it's a fucking ass rape, if you ask me. And I, as much as this kind of stuff helps you for singing, especially, they will never help you as much as a real person looking at you and say what you're doing wrong and how your breathing is helping and all of that. When I first met Rocky, who's the head teacher there, she was charging 25 pounds an hour, but I think she bought a bunch of stuff and she's got new gear and she hired people to help her out and all of that. So now she's charging, I think, between 50 and 60 pounds an hour. I think she has a package which is like 4 classes for 200 pounds or whatever. And I thought this was another ass rape, but to be honest with you, when I started looking around, I saw people charging way more than she does. I think for what you're gonna get with classes with her, it's totally worth it. I hope this was useful for you guys. Again, man, this is my own personal experience, you know, and I'm pretty sure there's a multitude of other channels out there. So what are the resources that you like? And what have I missed? Is there anything else you guys would think I should be watching, or, you know, other cool channels out there that you would recommend? If there are, make sure you leave in the comment section below your tips and your channels and who you guys follow. And as always, because I know I have an absolutely fucking massive YouTube following at the moment, but if you guys find this useful and you want me to continue to make videos, you know, just